What's up, y'all? I'm back for another video. My god, Samurai Cop is one of the most memeiest movies I have ever watched. Oh my god. I was dying. Just how bad it is. But it was meme worthy, though. It was at least meme worthy bad. I was dying. I was like laughing hard. Like just how bad the dialogue is, just how awkward, like it's shot. Like the beginning of the film is just literally you get awkward shots of just fucking LA. As you got like the cop lady in a helicopter, then you got Samurai Cop or Joe, who they just call him Samurai the whole movie. And it's like just awkward silence for like a good, like, I don't even know what to call it, like almost 10-15 minutes of that. Like, or awkward shots of them getting in the car because they're chasing the criminals, who I guess the gang is called the Katana Gang. Robert Zadar is in this movie, who you might know. He's Maniac Cop in the Maniac Cop movies, and he tried. He's like the only one who I feel like tried the whole movie. And basically, the whole movie they have to try to stop this gang, and it is so bad. Oh my god, it starts off, and I'm probably gonna make this the thumbnail of shot of Samurai Cop with. He has a fucking wig on. It's like clearly a wig. It's a cap and has like hair, and it's a fucking wig. It's like hair. It's like hair is in a hat. It's so bad. It's like that's the fucking opening shot of Samurai Cop. It's the first shot I see him is bad. It's fucking ridiculous. And Fujiyama, the villain, just screams the whole time. That's all he does. He's literally nothing else. He just screams the whole time. Guys, it is I almost recommend watching it just to, like, you're gonna die laughing. Like, yeah, it is very bad. Like, there's a scene where with the love interest, I think Jennifer, okay, that's what her name is, the love interest of the movie. And when when Joe goes to talk to her, he asks her like, "Oh, can I here for a social like thing?" And her response is, "Why?" But you could clearly tell her mouth was not fucking moving. Like it was blatant. Her mouth was not fucking moving. It was just like she was like, "Why?" And then like you just clearly see her mouth wasn't moving. It's like what the. There's a lot of shit like that, man. It is a ridiculous movie, but man, my sides were dying. Sides were killing me. How funny it was. I was laughing hard at this. So I probably watched it again, definitely like high and drunk, just to laugh at it because it was hilarious. It like hilariously bad. The fighting's terrible. There's like clearly no lighting really. And the fucking awkward shots. Like, there'll be someone talking and they have to have like an uber close up whenever somebody's talking. It's ridiculous. Yeah, man. This is great. Like, so I guess objectively, this film's like a 2, if I'm being honest. But if I'm being subjective, I'm borderline want to give it a 7 just because it was at least entertaining. But I'm not going to give it a 7. It's a little too high. I'll probably give it like a fucking 5.5. It was entertaining. Like, yeah, it is bad, but it was entertaining bad. But I was gonna give it a 6, but I don't think in good faith I could give it a 6. But 5.5 out of 10. I was still entertained, no matter how bad it was. It was just like it is like crazy. Like it's like in the vein of The Room for sure. Which that'll be another movie. Like I'm thinking Wednesdays. At least for now, I think I might make Bad Movie Wednesdays where I review a movie like this. Next Wednesday, I'll do Velocipaster, which that's actually one I have seen. This one I've seen people react to it, and then it is. I'm not gonna lie, it is way different watching the whole thing. Oh, I will say though, there's a lot of titties. There's like random sexy. Like there's one scene where Joe has sex with this random cop lady, the one from the helicopter you see early on. Then there's a scene with Yoshimita. I'm probably Yamashita. That's what his name is. That's Robert Zadar's character, and I guess he has a redhead girlfriend who I'll admit she's pretty hot. Like this film does at least let women be hot, but man, the music scores for this movie is so fucking awkward. It's clear. It's like fucking like lounge music is what it feels like. Yeah, it was. I was so entertained though. So yeah, no matter how bad it was, I was when you have me dying laughing like that. I got to give you something. So tomorrow I'm going to be reviewing Red 2. I've seen it. I don't really remember it. I more only remember the first one, and I didn't go back and watched it. I only kind of watched the first one. I rewatched it the other time. So I'm interested to see where Red 2 goes. I'm hoping it's decent. I remember liking it at the time, around the time I saw it. But then I just never went back to it. And even when I went back to the first one, for whatever reason, I think at the time I didn't remember there was a 2. When I rewatched it, I didn't remember there being a 2, so I just did the first one. So I'm interested to see where 2 goes. But other than that, let's see. We'll get into the Samurai Cop. So, movie opens up, awkward opening. We see Yamashita and I guess kills some people. And then this is where we meet Samurai Cop. And like it's just an odd. We get this really bad chase because they're following the Katana gang. Um, Samurai Cop. I'll just call him Samurai Cop. Because they don't really even call him Joe in the movie. They just say Samurai most of the time. And his partner, I'll be honest, I do not remember the partner's name. He is fucking hilarious. He has some of these random lines. Like, there's a scene later, jumping ahead, where because there's this you know, in a lot of these movies, clearly this is supposed to be like Lethal Weapon. That's kind of what I was thinking. Like, this is a really like budget, really bad budget Lethal Weapon movie, and they have a chief character who there's a joke where fucking Samurai is like or his partner's like, sure, Chief's gonna fry my ass. Like, fucking Joe is like frying charcoal black. Like, what the like, what the fuck? And they come back to it later. Like, what the? Oh, man. Oh, my God. Like, shit like that. And, like, yeah, you just get this awkward opening because there's, like, portions where you got the cop lady in the helicopter. And then you got Joe and his partner in the car, and you get this awkward shots of them driving, and these like obviously like outside shots, which is like and just random dialogue. Like there's a little bit of dialogue, like when they're talking on intercom, but not the intercom, on the walkie talkies. But when like there's just portions where it's just silent. Like it'll just be like this random awkward silence. It's like what the fuck? And then yeah, we get this really bad chase, and my god, the music's like this random guitar. Like it was like royalty free music for the time. This movie like came out in '91, but it looks like it came out in like 1987, and just came out in '91. It was just like in some limbo or something that took it forever because it looks '80s. It doesn't look like it came out in '91 at all. Like it looks like it was like at least shot in the late '80s, and it just was released in '91. And there's a scene where they burn one of the people, the Katana people, because he gets burned in a car when they run his car down after the chase. He's like on fire, and you could tell this is not even like a stunt man, because like when they're trying to put him out, like he just looks up and he's like supposed to be like dead at this point from like his injuries, and he's like he looks up. The motherfucker looks up. It's like, Oh my god, like they didn't even hide that. And then we get random. This is where we get the sex scene between Helicopter Lady and Samurai Cop, and man, this seems so. This is an awkward sex scene. It's not as bad as the Room one. The Room sex scene is probably one of the worst things I've ever seen. But this was pretty awkward because the music was playing. They're not saying anything. Granted, I'll at least say we got the chick was hot, so we got a lot of a room. So it's like, all right, I can give credit for that, but it's still awkward because they're not saying anything, and they got this really weird. You could clearly tell they thought it sounded like porn music, but it sounded like elevator music. So Fujiyama orders Yamashita to kill one of his badly burned Katana members, because the whole point of the Katana group is if you get captured, you got to get killed because they don't want people talking. And then this is this scene where they go to the hospital, or I think it's a dentist's office, and clearly this is like it's like a warehouse they're in, like not a warehouse, but like some office building that they either rented or something, because this does not look like a dentist's office. Because there's like they go visit they go to the doctor's office, and this part is hilarious. This is where we get this really bad sex joke where fucking Samurai Cop's hitting on the doctor lady or the nurse. I think she was a doctor, and she just was like not making fun of how small his dick was. Basically, it was pretty funny. And while this happens, Yamashita sneaks in, kills the guy. And I remember when I was watching this, I was like thinking, when the lady walked in the room, like, my god, this looks like a fucking like closet, like some storage closet that you just turned into a doctor's office. And the guy who was burned is just awkwardly moaning, and it was like, what the fuck, is this supposed to be a porno? Like, because it wasn't even like moans where he's like in pain. Like, you could tell the difference between like moaning in pain, obviously, and pleasure, and he sounded like the latter. It was like, what are you doing? And also, he'd be under an anesthesiac at this point. He'd be fucking passed out, but okay. So they cut his head off. We get a really bad fight scene. Yamashita escapes. Then more pretty much awkward sex jokes. And then they go to Yamashita's office, or they go to a restaurant and confront Yamashita and his people, Samurai Cop and his partner. And this is probably where the scene that most people have seen, where he, Samurai Cop, it clearly is a scene of him just reading his lines, like straight up off a teleprompter. Like the TV screen's like probably right there behind the camera, because he's like awkwardly staring, and he's saying these lines with no emotion. I'm telling these motherfuckers, these sons of bitches. And when he says sons of bitches, I'm not gonna lie, it sounded like Christopher Walken. It was so bad, this scene. So then Yamashita sends the people after Samurai Cop and his partner, and then we get another really bad fight. These are so bad. No choreography. The hit fucking sounds so generic. And then, when Yamashita sees that his people are failing, he basically ends up shooting all of them. And then he throws a grenade, and it's supposed to be like he throws and it starts like smoke rises, and he's supposed to disappear. And he awkwardly stands there for like good 5 seconds at least. It's like he's just awkwardly standing there. And then we get an awkward scene of, usually just throughout the film, you just get random shots, and a lot of it clearly is filler. They're trying to fill screen time. So the next big sequence pretty much is when after oh yeah, Samurai Cop starts hitting on Fujiyama's girlfriend Jennifer, who owns the restaurant. This is the scene I was talking about, where he's like, he goes in her office and he's trying to hit on her. He's, I'm here for a social visit, and asks you, like, basically he's trying to hit on her. And when she says why, you can clearly tell it's like, dub. Her mouth didn't even fucking move. Like, and it's like, did they cut it like that? Did they? Because there's the scene earlier. The scene where you see Yamashita kill a guy, and the guy, you see him get shot, and then he's fighting again because he's like fighting his people, and then he gets shot, but then they cut to him still fighting. It's like, what the fuck? Like, there's a lot of that. That's what I'm wondering what happened here. Was that like a shot of her? Was that supposed to not be there? Was that supposed to just be her saying why and they just were too fucking lazy to change it? Oh, it was fucking hilarious, though. I'm not gonna lie. I was gagged. I rewinded a couple times. I'm like, I had to see that again. So, pretty much they kind of start falling in love and they have sex. And while this goes down, Samurai Cop's fellow cops get tortured until they find a Samurai Cop by Yamashita's people. Eventually, he gets warned by his partner, because his partner manages to kill off. Oh my god, this part. They have him, and they're about to like cut his dick off, and then the fucking guy, before he tries to do it, is like, I'm gonna take your black gift. Like, he literally uses the words black gift. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, oh my god, like, this is an actual movie. So he kills him off. He manages to warn Joe that they're coming for him. So he ends up killing a couple of people and escaping. And then Chief basically tells him, you gotta kill all of the fucking katana. I don't think a chief could just openly say that, but whatever. And yeah, so Jennifer gets kidnapped. They basically rescue her. They kill a bunch of the bad guys. Yeah, this movie is fucking hilarious. Though there's a lot of scenes. Like, there's a scene later, or I guess I skipped over a scene where he's looking at like some footage, and then these bad guys come and try to take him out. And he has clearly has the wig on. He has the hat wig on again. It's like, oh my god, dude. It's like, I love how they just have no shame. It's like, because it's weird, because there's like scenes where he has his actual hair, and it's like, no, let's just put him in this hat wig thing. It's so bad. So he kills Fujiyama. Fujiyama ends up getting killed by his partner, Samurai Cop's partner, because he fakes like he got shot, but he has a bulletproof vest. So he fakes his death, makes it seem like, oh, Fujiyama shot him, and then he ends up getting shot by him, and then movie ends with them hooking up, Jennifer and Samurai Cop. This movie is hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. I was fucking cackling. I'm not, like, just how absurd it is. And I think at least it's a fun, shitty movie. It's not good, but at least it's fun. Like, to laugh at. Just how absurd it is. Like, just how bad the editing is. There's just scenes where they'll say lines and it's clearly not a microphone. Like, they don't have a mic. And just how cheap it is. It's great. And that opening scene where there's just, like, awkward silence for, like, bits at a time. It's fucking great. So, I'm okay with, you know what? Wednesdays are going to be that now. Or I guess technically Thursday is midnight right now. But, bad movie Wednesdays. Movies like this. Eventually I'm going to do Batman and Robin. Because I'm going to do the Batman movies, but I think when I do Batman and Robin, I'm going to try to do that on Thursday. So it ties in with, the bad movies. Because, yeah, this is fun. These are fun. Like, at least movies like this. I'd rather review movies like this than whatever shitty MCU movie or shitty Disney thing they're doing. At least shit like this is just entertaining. Like, I was fucking done just how absurd the dialogue is. And his wig, his fucking wig. Oh my god. Like the fact that the first scene we see him is with the wig is fucking great. It's like that's a way to introduce your characters to really bad wig. Oh, the chase. There's a scene where they're like trying to shoot at the bad guys. You have all Samurai Cop's dialogue is shoot, shoot him, shoot him. Like he just keeps saying that for like a good almost 5 minutes. It was just shoot him. And then he's like driving, like they cut to him like awkwardly, like driving, turning the wheel. He's shoot him. It's so fucking bad. Oh man. I was done, man. This movie is great though, like in terms of how entertainingly bad it is. It's it's like Jack Frost to me. It's in that kind of camp. Like if I watch it, it's just a meme on it. Fucking Leprechaun in the Hood. It's movies like it's kind of in that kind of camp. I just love how absurd it is. So 5.5 out of 10, objectively like a 2, but I was entertained though, so that's a good thing. I honestly watch it again, like if just for the fuck of it, and I have a shot, I have some weed, and when I get fucked up, and we can just put it on in the background for like it's only an hour and a half, and if I really want to just get a good fucking laugh, obviously not for the right reasons, but I'll put this in. So I have no problem watching this again just to see how. I just love how absurd it is. So, but next Bad Movie Wednesday will be Velocipass for that movie. Guys, this is peak Hollywood. Oh my god. I remember just the name. That's one of the reasons I checked. I'm like, Velocipass? Okay, yes. And yeah, so I'll be doing that next week. Tomorrow will be Red 2. I'm hoping it's good. I think it will be. I remember liking it. And so we'll see. So I'll be checking that out tomorrow. Friday will be Wrath of Man, which I actually cannot wait for. Wrath of Man is so fucking good. That movie is one of those that I would honestly say is probably one of Saban's best. Like, genuinely. Such a good fucking film. So I can't wait to do that on Friday. But, alright, guys. This Samurai Cop is fucking great. It's, like, hilarious. But anyway, guys, I'll call it. You're calling it here. Alright, y'all. Talk to y'all later. Peace.